Right, afternoon, well, evening should I say, everybody, but oh, it's 9:30. Right, so I'm going to finish the day off with another cigar. I've been umming and ahhing whether or not I should dig into some more of the Cornell and Deal, but I'm having a bit of a cigar phase at the moment. I've done loads of cigar pipe tobacco reviews lately, so I'll hit the cigars. So earlier I had one of the CEO Italia Novellas. Beautiful cigar, nice flavour. Again, a bit of a problem with the draw, or the burn, sorry, but hey, these things happen. On the whole, that was a gorgeous little smoke. So, I'm so gassy when I do these videos. So I'm going to end the day on a Vegas Robainia Famoso. Now, a little bit of information. It's a Hermoso number 4. It's 5 inches by 48. And I did have one of these in Cuba. This is one I picked up over there. It's still lovely and well humidified. Now I've got my humidor reset up downstairs. I'm very happy. Things are ticking over nicely in there. So the aroma, the wrapper of the stick's got a slightly sweet, earthy smell to it. A little bit of dust there. Maybe some toasted, slightly toasted aromas from the foot. Very, very fresh Cuban cigar tobacco smell. I did notice that obviously there's no aging happens with the cigars over in Cuba, so there's no age on it. So it's got that slightly ammonia-y, fish foody sort of smell. But the smell you get from the fresh Cubans is totally different to what you get from your Nicaraguans and your Hondurans. It's still got that kind of pungent smell, but it's nowhere near as breathtaking as some tubed fresh Nicaraguan cigars are. La Rica for one. Wow, they got a pong out of the tin. Nice smokes if you leave them out to settle for a few months, but initially when you open them, whew, they've got a bit of a pong to them. So anyway, I'm gonna cut this and give this a whirl. I'm back to using my my trusty wolf cutter. These things are bloody awful. But anyway, so. Cold light, so cold draw's only got a little bit of flavour to it. Still got that kind of ammonia-y, fresh taste. There is a bit of sweetness, like it's off the wrapper on my lips. But anyway, I'm going to light this one up. Matches 860. First tastes, a slightly roasted smell, as you would imagine. Not the best lighting job I've ever done. That's got him. Yes, that was over the top, I know. First few draws, or first draw really, very, very light, some slightly sweet woods with a very nice dry finish. Some slightly sour, almost bean flavours on the back of the finish. Some dry spice. Creamy draw. It's not really a spice, it's more of a pepper. Some light flavours, it's got a decent amount of body to it. It's got a bit of carries a bit of nicotine instantly. So some sweetness there, woody, cedary flavours. Then on the finish I say it's quite dry, there's some very subtle pepper. and it's almost slightly herby on the finish, but all the time it's got that fresh Cuban cigar taste. So little hints of pepper on the draw there. But I'm going to carry on with this. I'm going to come back at the third point and let you know how the first third's been going. So I shall speak to you in a moment. Right, so I'm a third of the way into this now. The ash is hanging on. Does look like it's ready to fall, but it doesn't seem to want to go anywhere yet. The flavours have got a little bit. I've got more spice and some beans on the finish. It's a lot woody. I've got some lovely kind of toasted woods in my nose at the moment, and it's beautiful. I find when I exhale through my nose with a lot of cigars I just get horrible spice, but this leaves a lovely, it's like a sweet toasted wood smell in my nose, and I say I've got this slightly dry peppery spice and woody earthy flavours on the tongue. I want to smoke more, but I just love this finish to it. It's beautiful. It's not very, there isn't a lot happening, it isn't drawn out, it's just consistent. It's beautiful. I want a snuff that leaves this smell in my nose. On the draw, it's just beautiful, sweet, cedary-like woods. You almost get the impression it's almost a little bit herby. And I say there's some lovely, sweet tanginess to it as well. The tanginess kind of mixes with the spice and the pepper. These are beautiful smokes. Again, not a very popular smoke. I struggle to sell these, and in my opinion, these are one of my favourite richer Cuban cigars. I ordered dry pepper and the finish is beautiful. Sweet woods, nuts. Oh, these cigars are amazing. There isn't any size or any one of these cigars I haven't enjoyed smoking all the way from sort of like the beginning all the way down to the ash. I'd say the ash is just hanging on beautifully. So yeah, I'm just going to keep smoking this. I shall be back at 2/3 and let you know how it's building. But I'll say this before I finish, like I do most cigars like this. I already love these smokes. Reviewing something that you've smoked before, that you really like, I find it's a lot harder than reviewing something you've never done before, because you go into it expecting something before you get it, and I often struggle things to say because I already know what I'm going to expect, whereas something new that I've never had before, I love reviewing those things. But anyway, I'll be back. Right, I'm in the final third of this now. It's definitely picked up quite a bit of body. Carries quite a bit of nicotine, the Vegas Robainias do, which is good, especially if you're a nicotine junkie like I am. It's got progressively sweeter. The woods and nuts are very insignificant amount of the flavour now. I say it's quite a lot sweeter. There's some herby flavours there. The finish is a little more bland. That still does have some. It's kind of a earthy, woody, mushroomy, kind of damp woods sort of finish to it. The pepper's fading. There's still a little bit of pepper lingering at the back of the palate, and there is the kind of the herby taste from the draw there. But the finish has lost its character now, sort of thing. The cigar does peak beautifully as you kind of enter it into the middle run. So far, dropping off from the middle, where I am at the moment, it's become a little bit flatter. There's more body to it, more oomph, but it's because of the more oomph and the more power, it's lost those subtle, delicate flavours that make the start so beautiful on this cigar. I guess there is some very subtle nutty taste within the sweetness, almost some caramelised nuts kind of lingering at the back. It's lost the toasty taste. And I say that lovely woody flavour that it had. in the finish has all but gone. I say it's overpoweringly herby. So far, like I say, I've liked it as it's hit its peak in the middle and it's kind of flattening out a little bit now. It's the only problem. It's a little bit too strong to have all the delicate nuances of a lighter cigar, and it's almost a little bit too light to have all the subtleties of the big bold flavours. It kind of lingers there in the middle. It sits beautifully in the middle. It's a great introduction if you want to work your way up to a stronger cigars. You want something like a similar sort of strength and body to a Monte Cristo or a St. Louis Rey. Slightly different flavour. They're very... I'd put it in a similarity, on a par with a St. Louis Rey. St. Louis Rey's slightly different array of flavours, but it's a very similar styling characteristics is what I class it as. The Regio, same size as the Famoso number 4 sort of thing. I enjoy just as much as I enjoy these. I much prefer them over the Monte Cristos, but I'm not the biggest Monte fan you'll ever meet. Throughout the smoke, the burn's been fairly consistent. Not a perfect straight line, but there's not a great difference in there. The draw's a little tough, but it's a little tough but a rewarding result from it. Quite a few cigars that have quite a hard draw, you still don't get a lot of smoke. With this, you do have to put a little bit of effort in, but you are rewarded with vast quantities of rich smoke. So it's only really the finish that's letting it down in this final run of the cigar, really. So but when I say the last run's letting it down, it's not a bad experience, it's not a bad taste or anything like that. It's just it hasn't got what it's got in the first half. It's still got lots of beautiful flavours there. It's by no means a bad cigar. I'm basically just saying in comparison to the first half, it's tailed off a bit, but compared to a lot of cigars, it has a lot of flavour on the finish, if you know what I'm getting at. But anyway, I'm gonna finish these last half a dozen to a dozen draws, and I shall be back with my final conclusions and to let you know if there is any progression before I hit that horrible acidic bitter end. So, again, I shall return. Right. So, I'm at the end. It's getting a little bit bitter. But it did kind of come alive a little bit more as I got towards the end. I got some woody flavours back. Some sort of like... It's almost a cinnamony type coffee flavour on the draw. The finish is still quite flat and uninspiring. Suck on your tongue, you get a few kind of earthy tones, but that's just smoke. But I say the draw's a little bit more interesting. I've not been overly keen with the final third of this cigar, the final half to be honest. So it's been consistent, the burn's been spectacular. The draw, well I say, been a little bit tough. It's still been a pleasure to smoke. There hasn't been any draws of this I haven't enjoyed. Like I say, my disappointment in the second half is by no means saying this is a bad cigar. These are amazing cigars. They're one of my favourite brands, basically. Favourite blends of Cuban tobacco. The fact that who they're named after adds a whole load of significance to the cigar. These are beautiful, beautiful cigars. Not a very popular stick for me anyway. I gather some of my, I say competitors, some of the other tobacconists down in London sell a lot more of these than what I do. They say they don't have the magical name. Even when you're out in Havana, you see them in a few places, but you don't see too many people smoking them. Everybody's smoking Cohiba and Monte Cristo and Romeo and Julieta. We were smoking a lot of Upmanns. It isn't one of the magical names, but to be honest, it should be. It's, in my opinion, it's a lot better than a Monte Cristo for that kind of strength and intensity of flavour. It wipes the floor with Montes. in my opinion. I know a lot of people disagree with me, but I really like these. They're kind of the step up from a punch before you hit Ramon for me. It's kind of how I'd get people to progress through the kind of cigars I like. Go from Fonseca, move on from there, go on to, like I say, punch, then from punch onto these, or to the St. Louis Rays. The Regios are one of my favourite St. Louis Rays. And then on there, from then on, hit the Ramon Alone, specially selected. If I was going to pick my day of exactly what to smoke in that order, that's what I have for my day, sort of thing. They're my favourite. It's similar style of taste. It's that kind of woody, nutty, slightly herby, subtly sweet flavours. I love them, and they're my choices going through. I mean, I do love the other cigars. You can throw Coaba in there. I adore Trinidad's. Cohiba, yeah, the standard lines, not the Siglos, the Linea. Oh, is it the Linea 1492? I can't remember off the top of my head now. I had a little bit too much rum. But yeah, like I say, so a pleasantly enjoyable cigar. Not the most thrilling ride you'll go on with complexity of flavour. Say the second half, in a way, lets it down, but the first half of this cigar, they're stunning and spectacular. So even though the second half lets it down, I'd still rather smoke the second half than a Romeo and Julieta or a Monte Cristo. Again, in my own humble opinion. So anyway, thank you very, very much for watching. I do intend to get more reviews done. There'll be more cigar reviews mixed in with my pipe, tobacco, cigarette and snuff reviews. So, thank you very, very much for watching. And if you're interested in more of my cigar reviews, most of these I did when I was just writing on my blog. So for tons of cigar reviews, make your way over to my blog, mrtobacco.co.uk. That's where the bulk of my cigar reviews are. So, like I say, thanks for watching. See you all soon. So take care. Goodbye.